difference between race, ethnicity, and nationality. Let's get smarter in seconds. Race is a system that categorizes people based on human differences, like skin color, hair texture, facial features, etc., and ranks those differences based on social and political hierarchies that were created over the past 600 years for the purpose of racism. And scientists have conclusively proven that race does not have a biological basis. That's what people mean when they say that race is a construct. Ethnicity refers to shared cultural background, including traditions, language, history, society, religion, or ancestry. Unlike race, ethnicity is not based on perception, and it was not created for the purpose of ethnic discrimination like race was invented to do racism. Nationality identifies a person based on their connection to a given nation, state, or country. And usually, nationality has to do with where you're born or where you're a citizen. Because of racism and ethnic discrimination, somebody with a given nationality may be rejected as a member of that group, even if they were born there or have citizenship. Now, let's put it all together. I'm mixed race and racialized as Black. My ethnicity is based on my cultural and ancestral heritage, which includes Louisiana Creole and African American. And since I was born in Los Angeles, California, my nationality is American. Although America does refer to North, Central, and South America, that's what the nationality in the United States is called. I hope that's helpful.
Smarter in seconds.
You don't know what it's like to be Black, and I don't, because I'm biracial, right? I'm Black and white. But then you go into society and people say that biracial kids, me personally, anybody, the minute you have any ounce of color in you, cops or anybody view you as Black, right? And so, no, I don't know what it's like to be Black. I will never say that I know what it's like to be Black because I am biracial, I am mixed, I am white, and I am Black. So I get to say my piece, and I know what it's like to be biracial. I know what it's like to go through this and to go through that. And, you know, I can only speak on what I know. That's what I'm kind of here to do. And then you got people who say, Cory, you're Black. And, you know, I agree with that. You know, I agree with that. When people say I'm not Black, I agree with them. And then when people say I am Black, so I'm not comparing the two, but I'm also not sitting here saying that you can't be racist towards white people. That's an ignorant statement. You can very easily be racist towards white people. I stop people when they say there is no racism towards white people. There is. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. You know what I mean? I've been with Black families that do not like white families. They don't. And it's that simple. There's no way to put it. And I've been around white families that just don't like Black people. Their experiences with Black people have never been great. Their walk of life and what they've been through has not been a positive experience when it comes to Black people. So I've experienced both sides. I've seen both sides. And until people can't accept that both sides feel some type of way, we're not going to go anywhere. We're not. So this is what I have to say. This is what I have to say. The writer is biracial. Correct. I am biracial. About it like that. And the biggest thing is, you know, the reason I didn't say I identify as Black is because I felt like I was being disrespectful to my mother, who is a white woman who raised me my whole life. I was raised by my white family. So I felt like there was going to be a disrespect by me coming out and just saying I am strictly only Black. You know me. I identify as a Black man.
It's not disrespectful to your mother to say you're a Black man, because at the end of the day, you are a Black man.
To learn.
And you look like a Black man. Right. And a lot, if your mom gets pulled over and you get pulled over, it's two different. It's going to be two different approaches, and sadly, it's going to be two different approaches for Ryder and Mila. The girls are going to get treated differently because Ryder is going to look like us. Yeah. And Mila's gonna look more like Taylor. She might have a little tint, but she's gonna. They're gonna be treated differently. So we have to well equip our children to know how to handle these situations, to know how to stand up when something's wrong, how to talk, how to say it and get your point across. And it's okay. It's okay to put your foot in the mouth as long as you can come back and say, hey, I fucked up. I said something wrong. I'm now going to take this time to educate myself. And now I know how to educate my children. That's leave it at that. So we all say things that can be wrong. I've done it. Everybody has done it. But it's how you come back.
What is going on, beautiful people? I am Wes from Chat West, and welcome to my cute little channel where I get into specific things regarding stuff that I love. It's just me on this channel. You won't see a plethora of other things like you do on my A Connection TV channel. Without further ado, I want to talk about race, and I specifically want to talk about Cory and some old videos that are popping up on Twitter regarding him and his perspective of how he views himself being biracial and not necessarily black. Now, I don't know how old the video is because there's two videos that I have on this that we're going to discuss. A video with him talking with his first baby mom, and a video with just him talking. In one video, he says he's not black, he's biracial. And then in another video, he says he does identify as black. Now, why this is causing such an uproar and stir amongst the folks, I have no idea. It's unfortunate that a lot of individuals that have any ounce of black in them have to deal with some sort of something in this world regardless. And because Cory is on TV for a good over 10 years of his life, and, you know, he's popular, people are going to scrutinize him for whatever he says regarding race, right? There are a lot of people that are black and strong, and you need to love and be strong with your black people. And then there is the other side that my people like myself, like fully black, not biracial, don't really have the experience, can't really speak to it. I'm black, but now I wasn't raised in a white family household. My mom is not white. My father is not white. So there is a different lifestyle, a different world of experience that Cory has had that he can attest to, but can't necessarily attest to the people that have just been grown up with all black parents. And so I feel like it's horrible for people to scrutinize or criticize or comment on experiences that they don't necessarily have themselves. Yeah, you know, just because this person is biracial and this person is biracial doesn't mean their experiences are the same. Just because this person is black doesn't mean their experiences are the same. So I think Cory speaking on his experiences is something that he should be allowed to do, and we shouldn't criticize him or judge him or whatever the case may be. I think he has gotten to a point in his life where he fully understands the black side of things. But I think he was actually looking for some understanding for the white side to his story as well. Now, I do want to comment on the fact that he stated that black people can be racist and he's seen it. I don't know. I mean, a couple things can be true at the same time, right? But by definition, black people built in this world can't necessarily be racist, because in order to be racist, you have to have a high seat of power and make sure that people below you do not gain any level or ounce of power based on solely their race. And black people normally aren't in a position of power. And it would be rare for someone to be higher up and be like, oh, these white people, I don't want to hire them. That is specifically, definitively called racism. Now, I think what he was trying to say is that black people are very prejudiced. We can definitely be prejudiced. There's prejudice and bias and a lot of racists. And yeah, I could definitely see that with black people. Black people not wanting white people to be a part of something. White people not wanting black people to be a part of something. And, you know, I wonder, would it be a situation where we could say that, you know, Cory is fortunate to have experiences on both sides? I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but what I will say is that we're not in a position to judge, or we should not feel like we're in a position to judge, because his experience is his experience and he's allowed to speak on it. Is Cory black? He has black in him, like he said. If you walk down the street and you see Cory, would you think he's black? I always thought Cory was black. I never questioned whether or not he wasn't based on how he looks. Kylan, I say the same thing about Kylan. You're not going to tell me that Kylan does not have any black in him. You see what I'm saying? So for me, although when I look at these two men, I see black, when other people look at these two men, they may have questions. Or if they're pulled over by the cop, they may just say, hey, you're black, let's treat you as such. What she was saying in the video, I can attest to, because out of the 10 times I've been stopped by the cops, 9 of them have been I've been racially profiled and treated as a second-class citizen. And so for me, my experiences aren't positive with cops, and I don't like them at all, you know? And when he was saying that, you know, some black people have had experiences with white people and vice versa. Some white people have had experiences with black people that have, you know, clouded their judgment or created a judgment for them. Let me just say that. It's the same way for me with all of my experiences dealing with cops. Some people may have had positive experiences with cops, but I have not. And whenever a cop stops me, I get annoyed, I get aggravated, I think I'm going to die. Right? Because the majority of my experiences, damn near 90% of my experiences, have been negative. And so I can only imagine what people like Kylan, people like, you know, Amber, people like Cory have to deal with or go through. Hell, even Mariah Carey is known for talking about a lot of the issues that she had being biracial, black people not loving her enough, white people not loving her enough. So I don't know about y'all, but for me, I feel like if you don't or have not lived specifically in the individual's shoes, you shouldn't really run them rampant with your thoughts and opinions on how they view things that are going on in their life, especially if you're not biracial, right? But for me, I'm glad that Cory has adjusted to the concept of accepting his identity, whether it's part of him or whether he considers it to be all of him, right? Because him and Kylan were on the show talking about the last black winner was Nehemiah. And I did some research. He was technically the last black winner of the challenge main series. And so it's interesting that something like that will come up, and then all of a sudden people would start looking at his old videos where he did not identify as black. What do you guys think? Do you think that we should be allowed, or people should be allowed, if they're biracial, to have freedom of expression and freedom of speech for experiences that they've gone through personally? I mean, it just makes sense, you know? And at the same time, why should anyone that is biracial denounce any part of them just so they can speak solely on being black? That's not right of anyone to do. And why are people with black in them having to do that? You know, it's interesting. Like, if this would be kind of dodgy. Let me not go too far into it, but I will say it's interesting that if black is in someone, then they're considered black, period. That's it. Like, black is the dominating race within someone, and they should definitely just associate themselves with the black side of them. It's very interesting that people think that way. And I don't know what the hell is that? I'm not sure. I'll be curious to hear your thoughts and opinions, but let's read on some of the comments that Cory got under this video. So we got one comment from someone saying, now during Total Madness, Double Agents, didn't Cory say he's not black? Then we have a comment with someone saying, also left Darrell and Amber out. The challenge has no place for this bullcrap. And then someone responded and said, Darrell hasn't won in like 2 decades. The last male winner was Nehemiah, and Amber is not a male. And so then another person says, when has Nehemiah won a challenge? Google. Yeah, Nehemiah did win that challenge. Wasn't it by default or something like that? I don't know. But whatever, he did win the challenge. Then we have another comment says, he says, yes, I'm black eventually. Cringe. Yet the bias still shows in his explanation of why people are racist, yet not explaining that those black people he knows are prejudiced because of the racism they experience. There's also a difference between racism and prejudice, which I just explained. Then another comment says he isn't black. A white woman doesn't create a black child. People bullied him into claiming black after that video. Then another comment said he's biracial, which he is. And so I agree with the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Is it fair for him to have to attach himself solely to black when that's not all that he is? And how do you feel if you are black with someone representing or talking positively about their white side? Leave your comments below. I'm curious to hear what you guys think, and thank you for tuning in to Chat West.